Based on the Macross Zero animated series, we have a model kit from Hasegawa Hobby Kit. So this is the VF-0A and 0S Battroid version. Okay, let's start the review with the finished product. So this is a non-transformable model kit because there are also model kits that has the transformation aspect of the Robotech theme. So we have the aerial form, the Gerwalk or the Guardian form, and the Battroid or the robot form. This is a non-transforming figure, just concentrating on the humanoid Battroid, or just simply put, the robot form. Okay, so let's do a quick 360 view of the figure. So I still haven't installed or placed on the decal sheet. So this would be put on later because I just would like to take a video so to document the details and articulation points of the base figure. Because yes, it's a model kit, but it has decent points of articulation for display, which makes this a semi-playable figure. Okay, so how tall does this figure stand? So this figure stands around the 9-inch mark. So from the top of its head to the feet. Okay, so this is currently in its VF-0S configuration, or dual horn configuration, or dual laser configuration. The other configuration is just going to be a change of head unit, which is this. So you could change to the VF-0A or the single horned head unit. So let's move a little bit of the light to this head unit so we could take a closer look at the details of this head unit. Okay, single horn, so this thing is movable. And I took the liberty of painting the camera portion green, just plain green, using a Sharpie, green Sharpie. So this model kit is what Hasegawa calls a snap-on kit, or the other companies would also have snap-on kits, which usually is a kit that is easier to do. For example, for action figure collectors or beginners in the model kit thing, so the snap-on kits are the easiest to do, or let's call it the beginner's kit. Okay, but for a beginner's kit, actually this looks really good. So after you snap on the whole thing, you could go on towards refining the figure, so getting rid of the panel lining on the action figure build. So for example, the visible panel lines on the legs, you could place a little bit of putty or sealant to break off those lines. Okay, so I just didn't choose to put on the decals first because I just wanted to enjoy the base figure. So snap-on model kits, you would only need a very good cutter. So Hobby Lobby, that's it. Go get your kit at Hobby Lobby. A good X-Acto knife and a very simple file. Okay, so nothing on this kit at its current state is actually glued on. It's all snapped on. Now, it only would require you, how many steps does it take? Including the whole assembly, it's just going to take 39 steps, including the last part, which is the assembly of the Battroid form. Well, of course, this is the painting and the decal placement is going to be a different thing. So just the assembly part would take 39 steps. Okay, so at this current state, actually this is not the original color of the figure, because the original color of the white on this figure actually is going to be this kind of shade. So let us take out the tray. So yep, the white is going to be this shade. So in its current state, actually what I used on this figure are my charcoal sticks. So charcoal sticks that I use for my 1:2 scale military action figure builds. So just put a little bit on paper and fine brush for the inner parts so it would look dirtied up, or the unit has been tested for battle endurance. So the manufacturer could deliver it to UN Spacey for commission. Okay, so just simple charcoal sticks to have all of the details pop out on this action figure. Okay, as for articulation points, the head is on a ball joint, and because of the much details that is on this figure, we don't have any articulation point on the waistline nor the abdomen. Okay, next thing, we have articulation points on the arms. T-poses are possible. Full 360 turns of the arms is possible because we have 0 kibble on this portion of the Battroid form. Okay, we also have a single point of articulation or bend on the elbow, also rotation on the biceps, a ball joint on the handsets, and the digits on the hands of the action figure or this model kit figure actually is movable. So you could ball it onto a fist or a relaxed state like this. We have articulation points on the leg because the leg is on a ball joint. So raising it forwards, a little bit of sideways, but you have to spread out the wing set on this figure to move the leg set. So highly possible to move those legs backwards, forwards, but you have to move the wing set out. Okay. So for flight poses, you could, on a action figure stand, you could possibly do that. We have 2 points of articulation on the thigh. So we have point A and point B. Because the bend on the knee is a separate thing. So there's actually 3 points. 1, 2, and 3. And as for the foot of the figure, we have a little bit of hinge because that is on a ball joint, and the toes and the back or the ball of the foot actually, they could fold or separate. So that is the simple points of articulation for this very great looking 9.5-inch VF-0A from the Macross Zero animated series by Hasegawa Toys. Okay, so this time let's take a closer look at the details of this model kit, because this is where model kits are really strong on the detail points. Okay, so it's the detail of the head unit. So that's the reason why I did not put on any paint or decal, so we could take a look at the construction of the head. Basically just the raw form. Okay, we have articulation also, I forgot to mention, on the dual laser horns. Okay, so I also painted those green portions just with very simple green Sharpie permanent marker. Okay, so this is the details on actually the shoulder area. So unlike your VF-1S or Jetfire action figures, transformer figures, where you have a lot of gapping holes in this configuration, the gapping portions on this model kit are really non-visible. So especially on the underside, on this area. So space fillers. So actually this should still be painted green, so I'm going to go back on later on this action figure to paint that part black, not green I mean, but black. Okay, so details on the handset. So actually I'm really not afraid to move this figure around because the plastic is really nice and solid. Okay, it's kind of lightweight, but actually you could put on plastic glue on certain areas of the body when you are assembling it to add a little bit of weight on the figure. So for example, on the chest area, on the arms, on the ball of the shoulders, and on the legs. Okay, so this is the detail of the cover for the cockpit or the shield. Details on the chest, details on the leg, and as you could see, well, this is where you're going to work your fillers on to erase those lines. But for a snap-on kit, actually this is really very good. Well, actually for $30+, so that's the price you pay for a kit like this. So decently priced actually. So details on the leg and on the foot, details on the back. So you have your antenna, your thrusters, and your wings. Actually, a lot of details on the wings. So that's the reason why I also used the charcoal blacks. So aside from dampening out the super white color on this figure, which in its finished product state, it looks really like a model kit. But when you apply a little bit of charcoal on this, it would really look great. So instead of, actually I still have acrylic paint on board, which I could do some more detailing on this, but I chose to use the charcoal because it's flatter and the thinner and the material is not so greasy or would smudge the surface of the model kit. There you go. So this would go right now on, after of course applying the decals that I have. So with this kind of dirtied up look or battle ready look, so putting on the decals would, I would imagine, really improve a lot of the features or details on this model kit. So if you like this review, very simple one, something that I enjoy doing and also part of my childhood, I'm a really big fan of Robotech or Macross. So it's a big thing in the Philippines, like Voltes 5. So if you love this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.